What is the Distortus Rex? Hello everyone, I'm the Gaming Beaver, and in this video, we're going to be discussing the new Distortus Rex that'll be appearing in the upcoming Jurassic World movie, Rebirth. So, what is Distortus Rex? Well, its name means Distortion King, and from that, we can take a few guesses. But because we only know so much about the dinosaur so far, we'll have to speculate. So, let's start with what we do know. According to the Empire article that was recently released, we now know that this thing was created 17 years ago, before the events that unfold in Jurassic World Rebirth. The events of Rebirth take place in 2027, which means that the Distortus Rex was created in 2010. At that time in the Jurassic universe, Jurassic World the theme park had already been open and receiving guests for the past 5 years, as it opened in 2005. According to the trailer for the movie, Distortus Rex was made on an island somewhere close to Barbados.
We look towards Barbados?
That puts it over 2,000 kilometers away from Isla Nublar, the island where Jurassic World is located. And with the InGen logo plastered all over all the vehicles on Rebirth Island, it's safe to say that InGen created the Distortus Rex, the same company that made Jurassic World. So, what exactly is it, and why did InGen make this creature on an island so far away from the actual theme park itself? Well, to get the answers to that, I think we can look back at Jurassic Park. During the events of The Lost World, that being the sequel to Jurassic Park, we learned that the dinosaurs that were on the island weren't actually all born there, despite John Hammond telling Alan Grant and the rest of the team otherwise.
I've been present for the birth of every little creature on this island.
Chalk this up to the fact that when they were planning Jurassic Park, there was never any ideas for a sequel, so they never planned for that. But either way, there turned out to be another island. Isla Sorna, located just 87 miles or 140 kilometers away from Isla Nublar, the site of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. This island was where the real science started, where the first dinosaurs were created and then transported to Isla Nublar once the park was up and running. I think we can draw a lot of parallels to what's going on with Distortus Rex and this new island. In the trailer, they also mentioned that this is the island where the dinosaurs that were deemed too dangerous for Jurassic World were kept.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
I don't believe whoever says that is really working with all the information, but rather that this island was Jurassic World's Isla Sorna, but for the modern age. The reason why this island isn't close to Isla Nublar is because they no longer have to transport from island to island, but instead maybe just a cryo-frozen sample of DNA once it had been perfected, then incubated at Jurassic World's on-site facilities. Think of Jurassic World as a car showroom, and this new Rebirth Island as the car factory where they're all made. One designed to look all flashy, whereas the other one is where the real work gets done. But why do this? Why have a whole separate facility so far away and set up a completely separate lab? Well, I think David Koepp, the scriptwriter for Jurassic World Rebirth, sheds some light here by saying this in the Empire article, talking about InGen's experiments on dinosaurs in the past. We saw that their experiments made dinosaurs bigger, scarier, and it occurred to me and Steven Spielberg that those can't have all gone well. This is genetic experimentation. Things are not going to work out sometimes. Which pretty much tells us that this new island was the working lab, where all manner of failures and experiments were tested on, tweaked until being perfected, and then shown at Jurassic World. So then, what is Distortus Rex? Distortus Rex is a failed experiment, whereas the Indominus Rex was a result of InGen's secret military testing, which ended up resulting in the bulletproof laser-guided Indoraptor. I think the Distortus Rex is something different. Jurassic World at the time only had one T-Rex, the original one from Jurassic Park that was captured. As far as we're aware, this is the only T-Rex that exists at the time. Ignore the Dominion T-Rexes, we don't even know what they are anymore. It might be possible that the Distortus Rex isn't a hybrid, but in fact, InGen's attempt at creating another T-Rex. That original T-Rex, known as Rexy in the fandom, is getting pretty old at this point. So the scientists could have been trying to create another one to replace her, or make new ones. and Distortus Rex just so happened to be a failed attempt. Something that went so wrong that they had to abandon the facility. And if we look at Jurassic World, it would take them another 5 years to create the Indominus Rex. And even then, we've seen the failed experiment from that line of testing, being the Scorpius Rex. Probably one of the only redeeming things to come out of the animated show, Camp Cretaceous. Show the robots! Show the robots! But what if Distortus Rex wasn't just a failed T-Rex cloning attempt? Let's explore that, shall we? We know that from the Empire article, we're also going to see the Mutadons, experiments crossing Velociraptor DNA and Pteranodon DNA to make raptors that can fly. So if those were created at the same time as the Distortus Rex, could this creature also have an ability we aren't seeing? If we take a look at the limited footage we have of it from the toy lines in the trailer, it does have a rather bulbous head, not too dissimilar to the beluga whale or sperm whale. This bigger part of their heads is called the melon. Beautiful name. Both whales use this to communicate and distort their calls underwater. The sperm whale, however, has an additional organ housed in there filled with a substance called spermaceti. They use this to produce sonar waves and clicks, allowing them to hunt in the darkness of the deep ocean. People who have swam with sperm whales have reported feeling their clicks vibrate through their entire bodies, even when they can't see the sperm whale. And here's what James Nestor, a guy who's been studying whales for a long time, has to say about sperm whales and just how powerful their clicks can really be.
236 decibels. It's the loudest animal on the planet. Sperm whales can hear each other in the ocean from hundreds, even thousands of miles away. These clicks are so powerful in the water that they can blow out your eardrums easily, and they could actually vibrate a human body to death.
Now just imagine a dinosaur doing that to somebody. Good God! Could this be what InGen was trying to implement in the Distortus Rex? The only time we've seen it so far has been near water and at night. It might just be possible that the Distortus Rex uses its melon to hunt its prey in the dark, compensating for that pesky T-Rex vision we've seen fail it in the first movie. As a side note, I think it's very possible that we'll see a scene where a character from the movie will use a flare or stand still, thinking they can trick the animal and hide, for them all of a sudden to hear its sonar clicking, its head slowly turn to face them head on, and then eat them. Recently, a YouTube channel that goes by the name The Switch Motion has managed to get their hands on the toy of the Distortus Rex. Links down below. And it seems to do a weird motion with its head. This is definitely something I haven't seen in any of the other toys in the Mattel line. Could this possibly be the way that the Distortus Rex uses its sonar? Or maybe it's just very excited about eating its prey. Who knows? It does have giant arms either side of its body. I'm sure there's a joke about the T-Rex having small arms in there somewhere. It's anyone's guess why it has those, other than to stabilize its now enlarged head or to make it a more efficient hunter. Gareth Edwards, the director of Jurassic World Rebirth, did talk a lot about an encounter he had with bats in that same Empire article, and he's also the one who came up with the Distortus Rex. Bats also use sonar in the dark, so maybe it's not just the Mutadons that have something to do with bats. Whatever this thing is, it's living in pain and agony. One of the VFX supervisors says this: Gareth wanted us to feel sorry for it, as well as terrified, because its deformities have caused it some pain, and there's an encumbrance to it. He goes on to say, initially, you're horrified by something, but by the end, you empathize with it. Distortus Rex wasn't meant to be a completed product. It wasn't meant to exist, by the sounds of it anyway. And even though, from what we've seen of it so far, it's presented as dark and scary, actually, it's just a living creature that doesn't have any malicious intent, like the Indominus Rex had, for instance. Either way, we'll just have to wait for the movie to come out, but it's always fun to speculate on these things. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, let me know what your thoughts are on the Distortus Rex in the comments below, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.